to Talk with the Candidates. I'm your host, Nita Story, and I'm sitting here today with candidate Lynne Hubbard. Hi, Lynne, how are you?
I'm
Can
fine.
I call you Lynne? I'm sorry.
Absolutely, absolutely.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and yourself?
I am wonderful. We were just sitting here talking about our afros, natural sisters. Power to the people. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. It's been a early morning start, and I'm glad to be up and at 'em, and I'm just so glad to be here on the show.
For our viewers who don't, know a lot about you, why don't you just tell them a little bit about yourself?
I'm Lynne Hubbard. I grew up in Monroe Heights here in Riviera Beach. I have 7 sisters and brothers. It's 6 girls and 2 boys, me included, of course. And we love Riviera Beach. We're very passionate about Riviera Beach. I like community, and I think that Riviera Beach has a lot of resources and it is a magnificent place to live. So that's why I'm running, and I'm always just trying to find ways to make the city of Riviera Beach what it can be for the residents of Riviera Beach.
Okay, yeah, your race is heated. There is a lot of people running in your race.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
What is the best? What do you bring to the table that makes you the best candidate?
Well, what I feel that I'm uniquely qualified for the position because I understand what redevelopment should be, what community self-sufficiency is, what family self-sufficiency is. From the standpoint of redevelopment, anytime we borrow $50 million to revitalize our city, it should translate into a better quality of life for the people. Be there better communities, jobs for our business owners, professional services for our business owners, our general contractors, our day laborers. Our communities should look more aesthetically pleasing. Those are the things that true redevelopment delivers. It doesn't deliver increased wealth for people outside of the city. It increases the wealth of the people of the city. That's what I want to see happen with true redevelopment, economic development and social development. That way you can now say we are putting people before politics. We must put people before politics. We must create wealth in our own community. Develop something that will make our dollars translate and rotate in our community 3 or 4 times before leaving the community, because we have nothing to spend our own disposable cash on here in the city of Riviera Beach.
Staying on the economic topic, the Marina project is hot. It depends on who you talk to. You either love it or you hate it. Mm-hmm. What's your opinion on it? How do we?
The Marina project. It is good to develop the marina. It is good to have the marina. But again, I say the marina project was not done with the residents in mind. It was to create wealth for people outside the city of Riviera Beach, to create recreational tools and spots for people outside the city of Riviera Beach. We already have decided to give the management of the marina to an outside firm. We're privatizing that. The Palm Beach County Airport is a prime example. They own, operate, and manage the airport. Anybody who wants to lease space such as Starbucks, Cinnabon, the newsstand, they can all do that. They follow the overall rules, no discrimination, no selling firearms and things of that nature. But the county has staff that own, operate, manage, and lease out that airport. That is the same thing that we need to do for this marina. We also are talking about putting 4 restaurants at the marina and 2 inside. Riviera Beach cannot sustain that financially. But the good thing about it is this. People who own restaurants, develop restaurants, and open restaurants know better. So they're going to be hard pressed to make that particular mistake.
So what would be some of your suggestions then? If you were elected, what would you bring to the table and say, this is what we need to do, start doing to, revitalize this project?
One thing we need to do is realistically look at the fact that we don't need to put 2 restaurants inside of Newcomb Hall. We've borrowed $50 million that we know that we have to pay back. So we want a project that is going to thrive and survive. We don't want to start out the gate making mistakes that our project is going to fail. Two things. If you're going to have 4 restaurants outside of the marina and you got 2 inside your building, you are defeating the success of the restaurants that you're inviting to be a part of the project. So I would cut that back some. We don't need 6 restaurants in such a small, concentrated place. We don't have the population or the traffic tourist-wise annually to support that many restaurants and for them to survive. I would not price the use of the event center. They've now changed the name of Newcomb Hall to the event center, to price it very high so that the local people won't be able to participate and to go down. I would look at that, look at those type things. Any jobs, any professional services that we can have done by our local contractors, our local business owners, our laborers, our subcontractors, make sure that goes to them first.
Okay, staying on the topic of economics still, small business is a huge part of redevelopment.
Yes.
How do we incorporate small business into our redevelopment plan?
There are so many services in that redevelopment project that people need, from trucks bringing sand, from marketing to day laborers, as I said, to electricians, to drywall hangers, all of this. But we have to negotiate. When we negotiate deals with general contractors, they have to understand what we're about. We want all of our small businesses to be a part of this project. Mm-hmm. You're a GC, and if I made the mistake of hiring a general contractor from out of town, he could not bring his friends to take up all the work. He would have to understand all of our sub and parallel jobs will go to the locals of Riviera Beach first. That's how you incorporate them. You negotiate from a position of strength, letting the general contractor know if you want to do business in the city of Riviera Beach, you're going to do business with the people of Riviera Beach, the business owners of Riviera Beach. Small business is what drives an economy, and we have to help them by letting the larger contractors know these are the people you must use.
So what about the entrepreneurs then who want to own a small business? How do we incorporate them in, who are trying to get the loans, who are trying to, open up a business?
If you're doing a redevelopment project like the marina and even like the Ocean Mall, when I was in office and we did the Ocean Mall before they gave the Ocean Mall away, it was mandatory that there was equity participation in the businesses that came to that mall. When I left, they didn't enforce it, or maybe they didn't think it was fair that we were able to get the votes to put that in the document. My thing is this: if you're going to open a restaurant or a movie theater or whatever you want to open at the marina or the mall, you come here and you find an equity partner. This, for example, they may say, well, she can't get bonded. She doesn't have you bond her then. Another thing we could do, all businesses of Riviera Beach that aren't bondable, we create a bonding pool. A lot of the council persons like to say that's not possible. It's been done, still being done, and have been done. If you're doing business in Riviera Beach and you're from Riviera Beach, we can bond you. We can create our own bonding tool. if you want to, say if there was a Chipotle's wanted to come to down there, and we had another person that was interested in doing a franchise with Chipotle's or somebody, you create that partnership. So you're going to be, if someone has to front you for the first part of it, then so maybe you're the 40% and he's the 60%. The payoff to what he put down for you comes out of y'all relationship until you're back to the 50-50, ownership deal. It's ways to structure and create wealth within a community, and nobody did it better than they did it with Maynard Jackson in Atlanta. And he let them know, you will not take all the wealth out of Atlanta. You will create some millionaires before you leave here.
Okay. Staying on money, our community has been hit hard. The water bills are sky high. And then the council votes themselves a stipend. What do you think about that?
First, we need to undo the stipend. And this travesty of increasing the water bill every year for the next 5 years is utterly ridiculous. I went to see the finance director because I wanted to know more about where this money was coming from, why was this being done, what was the necessity of it. At the end of the conversation, he said to me, if the residents of Riviera Beach can't afford a $50 water bill, maybe they don't need to own homes. He said, that is just my personal opinion.
The finance director said?
That's what the finance director said to me, Mr. Sherman, at the city of Riviera Beach.
So did he let you see the budget? Did you see the allocations about where things were going? And
he did send me a breakdown of where everything was going and why we needed the increase. For example, he talked about this line that they want to do on Singer Island, the standby line, just in case something happens. Well, I think that's a capital project that can be put off. We do not need to raise people's water bill to cover the money that you are going to borrow to do a standby project. If there's a repair in the line, we now have a camera system where you can look, you find the repair, and you make that repair. But you don't put a burden on the backs of the residents that's unnecessary. And at the same time, you say we're going to give ourselves $1,000 raise while you're raising the water bill, and $1,000 stipend while you raise the water and the sewer bill. What's equally as shameful about that is the fact that you raise the water bill so high, I've got to choose whether I'm going to do laundry or water my grass. Now, when I choose to do laundry and cut back on watering my grass becomes brown. You send the code enforcement to find me on a daily basis to the point that they turn into liens on my home. So now I can't pay the liens on my home. So you turn around and file papers to take my home. So it's like I can't win for losing, and you're setting a trap so that you can take over the property of the residents in Riviera Beach. I think it's so unfair and illegal and so wrong for all of these illegal and unfair liens on people's property that some of them don't even know about.
So what percentage of the jobs do you feel like the citizens of Riviera Beach would get in the redevelopment plan? With the marina. I mean, how many Riviera Beach residents do you think is going to be able to be put back to work or be put to work?
That they will put to work, I would say you might see 15% of the people from Riviera Beach working there. Now, because we're having this conversation and we're on TV, it might increase.
Okay, so you have served on the council before.
Yes.
What did you learn from that time on the council? What was like your biggest accomplishment that you feel like you did when you were there?
One of the things that I'm most proud of is having the opportunity to make sure that MLK wasn't widened any more than it is. We fought to have it reduced by 125 feet. We were working with the Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council, and they helped us to navigate that process at that time. I didn't want to see the community devastated any more than it was by that massive road. I started a project to get the entryways done into the city of Riviera Beach. On Australia, you'll see at the corner of First Street and Australia, that was a project that I initiated with Florida Power and Light. Though that's their property and they're responsible for maintaining it. But no one ever requested of them to use the funds that they have allotted annually for the maintenance of those entryways to the city of Riviera Beach. So I was proud that we were able to do that, to start a conversation and to put a framework for local jobs and participation ordinance. I'm not happy with it as it stands now. I would like to see it done a little better and differently, so that it's a foregone conclusion that we start with ourselves first. I was proud to work on the charter. It was time for our charter review and to take part in that for the city of Riviera Beach during the time that I was there. Also, we didn't have any city council chambers for the city council persons. And there was a time when our boardroom was full, so I had to speak with Waste Management about a $5 million contract sitting in the lobby.
Oh, wow.
And I'm thinking to myself, after traveling around the state alone, let alone the country, and seeing all the other council persons with offices, I felt that the people that serve Riviera Beach should have offices as well. Well, that Human Resource Department had really outgrown their space, and they had leased new space over on MLK. So talking to Mr. Wilkins, he was able to make it happen that we could take the small space that was going to be left downstairs. I was able to talk with the other gentlemen that were on the council with me, and they voted and agreed to let me take the lead on that project. And so now the council members of Riviera Beach have a place to meet and talk business to people and to see our constituents. So I'm proud of that. There's no reason that the Riviera Beach residents shouldn't have a decent place to meet with their council persons.
Okay. So if you are elected, what would be your mission statement?
To put people before politics, to put the communities before politics, to create economic and social equity throughout the city of Riviera Beach, to make sure that when you drive through the communities of Riviera Beach, that they are decent, they are aesthetically pleasing. Sidewalk to sidewalk is the responsibility of the city of Riviera Beach. When we pay our taxes, that's what we're paying for. We're paying to have the city keep the empty lots down, nice flowers, nice lighting, nice trees. That's what you get from paying ad valorem taxes. So the myth to tell the people, unless we put our communities under the CRA, then we can't have lighting, underground work done, paved streets, landscape communities. That's a myth. That is not true. If we continue to put our communities under the CRA, we're going to bankrupt the city of Riviera Beach, because in a CRA area, the money and the taxes stay there. That doesn't help with our general fund, our general base. I think it's a mistake that we're doing that, and we're not telling the people the truth, the economic impact the negative impact that doing that is going to have on our city.
Wow. Okay, well, it has been a pleasure talking to you.
Look, thank you. It
so
has been a
much.
pleasure
Thank
being
you.
here
Thank
this
you.
morning
Good
with
luck.
you. Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. I am Nita Story, and this is Talk with the Candidates. See you next time.